Alright, hello guys, welcome back to the Stanley Parable. Where we last left off, I was getting very confused because the game is apparently remembering all the other times I played, not just this new file that I started. I guess I can't really start a new file. So this is a blind run. I've been labeling it as a blind run. It is a blind run. I just loaded it and played it for like 10 minutes as a test recording, and it seems to remember my test recording. So I'm really confused about what's going on in general. Like even right now, like I'm saving these games, but I'm not sure. Okay, so I can overwrite a save game. So it seems to exist. I just don't know if that means. I just don't know what this means. So anyway, we're gonna do kind of a compliant run, and we're gonna do with the voice in, because I've been going. Basically, I was told to take the door on the left. I've been taking the door on the right. So let's take, and bad things have been happening. So let's go to the left and just do what the voice tells us to do this time and see what happens. Although it would be kind of fun to do a loop where we stop. Anyway, I have a feeling we're going to be
there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
R.I.P. Franz? Interesting. Group cabal planning. Weekly targets, audit, meaning... What does all this mean? Office party. Interesting. Interesting. Get Chris out of the broom closet? Like, I don't know who moved my desk. Like, I don't know if some of this is just, like, shenanigans, or if these are clues. The boss appreciation minute. Solving interpersonal conflict. If you ever find yourself in a conflict with another employee, but more inclined to conflict, why do we have to remember that it takes two people to start a fight and now you're both of them? What? Yes, charts and nature and football and comatose, all part of clear skin. Oh man. Tips for not getting fired. Talk less. Do unbelievably amazing work all of the time, every day, with no expectation of promotion or recognition. Don't get fired. All right. How to solve a coworker dispute. Let it ball up inside you. Take out passive aggressiveness. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Yeah, it sounds pretty familiar. Use slides to assure employees. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Everyone is unique, most of all you. Bi-quarterly. Sorry, I think you can hear my sibling in the other room having a good Saturday also. Synergize core values. That's okay. He can enjoy his Saturday too. Broom closet. I wonder if that guy's still in there.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, downstairs is how I got to the infinite loop last time. That's what happened. Let's I know I said we were going to do what the voice said, but I want to show you guys the infinite loop hallway. It was pretty crazy. And then after this, we'll start doing stuff I haven't done before.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that.
4.
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when
Well,
he
this
looked
is
down?
Hey,
Why
I
did
noticed that
doors
already.
close automatically behind him wherever he went?
That is odd.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar.
Yep,
Were they
they
simply
are.
repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't
so
going to lose his
trippy.
job.
Why is there a printer
He wasn't
right here?
crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life
times
job
are
pushing
changing.
buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid?
Wow.
And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Where is this voice coming from?
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself?
Thanks.
Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
I'm pretty woke, that's true.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
A dream voice
not see him float
would tell
and
me
make the
that it's not a
magical
dream.
stars
That's what
just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too, surely. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control. That this was a dream.
Yeah.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up.
Crap.
He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back.
I've stopped moving, I've stopped walking.
The fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I want.
Wait, no.
I want my apartment.
No.
And my wife. And my job.
No, she's a terrible cook.
All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
No. You're trying to get to me.
My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
What is going on? Yeah, nope, still super in this hallway.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up.
Music
My name
change.
is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice?
Oh dear, it's gone red.
Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh, well, that's good.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the
I'm glad
body,
she's worried about it.
and then she turned and ran.
All right. So back to the beginning. All right. We're back to 11:20 in the morning. Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to call this episode there. That was pretty entertaining. As always, I hope you're enjoying this. Make sure you check out youtube.com/The Star Wars Refuge. If you're into Star Wars, it's my main channel. This is actually my side channel. I will still be streaming through here pretty regularly. I just also wanted to play this game. Didn't feel like it was super awesome on stream. Please follow me on Twitter at YodaBauer or at Forgiving Forums, which is the Twitter account for my Star Wars channel. And I will see you guys on the next one.